Scrappy friends! I have a fun layout for you today, and I am using mixed media! Yay! So I'm going to try this package smushing technique. Is there a technical word for this technique, or I don't know. So to get in what I'm doing, I only show you once or twice that I use my heat gun in between, just because I do this after each splatter section that I do, so I don't mix the colors together. I am using the Wilton Gel food coloring gels, just because I have them out and they're really, really bright, and I'm thinking that these won't blend as much as like my watercolors would. Watercolors would work really well to do this too, but I really wanted that bright color. And I am sorry for my head that gets in the way a little bit, and my hair is like all over the place. So I'm starting with the blues and like tealy colors. It's kind of hard to tell which one is which. I think the color that I'm using right now is more of the turquoisey color, but I kind of play around and mix. And at first I'm thinking I'm just going to do the top half, so you're going to see me do that, and then after a while, and you will see me do all the colors. I thought about speeding this up, but I think it's kind of fun and maybe relaxing just to kind of watch people do a lot of this not so hard part of the mixed media aspect of it. I think this is the purple color. So I use like blues, and I use some purples, and then I use pink. And I'm trying to keep it really light, which is why I'm flicking it on the bag and then smushing it. I tried a couple of different, like just putting it in a pile, and I didn't like that. I really like the more separation of the dots, but to be spread out a little bit. And I do use my paper towel to kind of pick up the color a little bit, and like I said, in between each layer, I also use my heat gun. I just kind of took that out because some of the layers, in between each of the layers, some of them had a little bit more water than others, and I'm not sure what cardstock this is. If it's American Crafts. And so see, here I went through the whole colors, and I did use a little bit of like a peachy orangey color, like a pink and orange, like orange together, and I didn't like that. So here I'm all done. It really didn't take too long, but I mean, it's the same process, so I just didn't show the bottom as the top. Once I got just the top part done, I didn't think that, I don't know, I didn't like it that much, or I wasn't sure how much I liked it. So I'm like, I'm just going to do the whole thing. And with the white, now that it's all done, I actually really like it. It took a little while. I think maybe because this is a technique I don't do very often, and I usually do use a lot of acrylics and stuff, so it's a little bit different when you're not painting an image or like stripes or something. So I used my die cutter and a die with I have a We Are Memory Keepers Evolution, and so it's a little bit like a Cuttlebug, I think. So it uses the more thinner dies, but you can adjust it, so you can use some thicker ones, but you can't use like the really thick Tim Holtz ones. So that was kind of sucky because it took me a little while to figure that out. But so that paper is just like a metallic silver, and I really liked it with the thin dies. So I am using my Click kits, and this is their July kit, which is called Carpe Diem, and it is fun. I love this black and white and the pops of color. It's just really fun. And I thought that that white paper needed something to ground it a little bit more, which is why I'm cutting it down just a little bit on two sides so that I don't lose too much of the pretty painting smushingness that I did. And then I cut the middle out just because I wanted to be able to use that. I don't do that with every single paper, but if it's a paper that I know I'm really gonna like, or I only have half of, like one sheet, I will cut it sometimes, unless I don't think I'm gonna use it. These are the papers that I think I'm gonna use, and all of these papers are from the Chickanity line. Let's see if I have a strip so I can tell you what the line is from. It is called 365. So that's the name of the line, like the collection. I don't know what paper that is, that black and white one. And I'm just going to use some of these colored papers and that black and white dot for my layers. And like most of the time when I do my layers, I do each layer a little bit bigger than the next. Sometimes I'll do them a little bit more bigger and stuff, but this one I'm just doing my classic a little bit bigger. I wished I would have made it not as rectangle-y and a little bit more square-like. I think I would have liked it a little bit better that way, but in the end I really like the layers. They're still nice and tight, and so it doesn't distract from all the stuff that's in the background, but I still got to use quite a bit of layers. And I tried to use the colors that were the most dominant. They didn't have any purple in their line, so the fact that I have purple on my paper that's the only thing I think that was on there that is not in my paper that matches with the papers. But I'm okay with that. That's not like that big of a deal. And really, if I wanted to, I could have looked through and tried to see if I had anything with purple in it, which is not much, but I think I do have a little bit. I love that geometric triangle paper. It's gorgeous. And I made sure that I cut it on the side that wasn't faded. Like one side was a little bit more faded, which it was supposed to be that way. It's supposed to look a little distressed, but I wanted it to be I didn't want that distressed look because this is such a clean layout or cleaner with the black and white and all that. So here I'm putting that bottom one down because the other layers I'm going to put on Pop Dots, and I do spare you so you don't have to watch me take them all off, because that takes a while sometimes, because I use the roll, so I have to I still wanted to use that heart, because the heart is so pretty, but it just didn't work. So here is, and guys, I really do try not to say so. I am sorry. I don't know what it is. It's like, I really like that journaling card, that pink one. I'm going to cut it down just a little, but I'm trying to see if I want to put one of the acetate pieces over top. I thought about maybe journaling on it, like around where the design was, but in the end I thought that I would want as much of that box as possible because I am going to be journaling on this. And I'm just looking through the little cut aparts from the 6x6 paper from the Maggie Holmes confetti line. It has some bright colors in it, so I thought that maybe it would kind of go with some of the other colors, since there's not really a lot of small embellishments in this kit. I mean, there's brads and enamel dots and stuff, which I love. In the wooden piece, I do use a wooden piece. It takes me a little while, and I still move that pace to figure out how I want to layer. Because I'm an embellishment person, and I think this is I love click kits. I love that I get a collection because it kind of helps me in my other buying. But the only thing that I don't is that I am an embellishment girl, and I sometimes feel I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing, because when you're mixing collection, you know, you're mixing your stash in with your collection, it's good to be able to use it. But sometimes when I first use a collection, like this is the first time I pulled this out, I just want to use the collection and not have to pull anything out. Just so I feel like it's a fresh new kit, I'm just using the kit, and I really couldn't do that on this one. So I was a little disappointed there, but these work out perfect, and that is from My Mind's Eye in their card kit that they had. It was on trend, and I was just trying to see if maybe some of those pieces, but they were a little bit, the colors were a little off. And I do look at some of the other Maggie Holmes stuff that I have, because I have a few other things. I'm trying to remember. I think I pulled out a tag, a pink, oh yeah, that pink ombre tag. I think that's pretty much all that I get from there. And then I'm looking through the pull side, and I get out. I remembered that there were some flowers in there, because I wanted some flower elements, because there's a lot of green from the background, because this is a photo of me and Chelsea from YouTube. I'll put a link to her channel just so that she can have some love. But she does stuff with a lot of like Scraptastic kits and stuff. She's so cute. And she was coming to Hawaii, and so she contacted me, and we got together at a coffee place, and we just chatted for a little while, and it was really fun. It was really cool to see somebody that I watched a little bit on YouTube, and it was just fun to meet with someone who actually scrapped, since I don't get a chance to really talk face to face besides, like, you know, via Skype or something. So this was like super fun. So we made sure we got a picture so we could document it, and I've been kind of waiting on it a little bit to find the perfect collection, and this collection was like perfect for that. So I'm trying to figure out where I want to put that from the Pink Fresh Studio, and it says Cool on it, and those are like enamel type square things. I wanted to use one of the other ones, but it just didn't work. So I'm just tucking things in, layering. A lot of those pieces layered really, really well. Like the Maggie Holmes stuff worked really well with the poolside stuff. I was surprised. I don't know why. It's all crepe paper, so it really does work together. And so just working it around. This did not take me that long at all. And at first I wasn't sure if I wanted to use that, because that is more of a coral color, and I don't have too much that is that color on there, but I really liked the Awesome, and I liked the font of that. Like, man, if I could write that great all the time, whew, I would love it. I don't hate my handwriting, but I don't love my handwriting, so I suppose if I practiced more, then it would probably look better, but it's definitely not Maggie Holmes handwriting. Sorry that the bottom of this is a little off screen. I didn't realize that. And I do end up using that. I just kind of fiddle around with where I want it, and I decide that I like it underneath the photo a little bit. And there is a little bit of a gap, but I'm okay with that. I didn't like the way with it resting. And then I'm going to use some of these brads that are from the Chicken Nitty line. And they're just fun. I mean, I don't use brads a ton because it's a lot of work. And you see I pulled out my piercer. And I do have to remember to go back and put washi tape behind them so that they don't catch on anything. But I just use 3 in each little area. I mean, I really only have like 2 major embellishment areas, and I'm okay with that. I really like the way that it kind of has that L shape. And then some enamel dots, and I think that is about it. I don't know if I show me doing the journaling or if I do that off screen, but I do the journaling. And then I use my date stamp in pink. I'll probably have to change that or do it in another color somewhere else, because it's kind of hard to see. Those are fun triangles, and they match because they're from the line. And then I pick out a couple of those Maggie Holmes words from the confetti line. And then that is going to be about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you guys to all my new subscribers and all my subscribers who leave comments. I'm sorry if I can't get to them right away. I really do try, but I've just been so busy lately. But I do love it when you guys comment and leave me some love. So I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.